Joining us now are Barb Kline and Kathy Bernard, hosts of the nationally syndicated radio show, Two Boomer Babes. Welcome, Barb and Kathy. It's a pleasure to have you guys here.
Thank you.
This is fun.
So tell me a little bit about how you guys got together in the first place, because that's a whole story all by itself.
Well, what time is it? Let me see. Wow.
What do you have? Keep rolling. Okay.
Like any good friendships, we like to say ours began in preschool and our children's preschool. And our kids are now, 25, 27, so it's been a while. And Kathy and I had just moved from overseas, and we landed in Reston, Virginia, of all places. We're both Midwestern girls.
I could never have told that.
You couldn't, I know. I try to have this Johnny Carson accent, but it doesn't work. And we were trying to figure out what to do with our kids because, they were young and we didn't know the area. And so, like anything, we became very friendly. And Kathy, actually, you'll hear this theme more often, repeated. But Kathy had actually sort of a harebrained idea, like, well, why don't we do a television show about what to do with our kids in Reston?
That's what I wake up thinking every day.
Exactly. And as you can tell, we're very TV ready, of course. We're just starlets. And so those were the days when cable was just beginning. And they would take anybody that literally was vertical and had a pulse, and we fit the mold.
We did. They were desperate for material. Mm-hmm. So we came charging in with this great idea with our, of course, adorable girls in tow, and just said, there wasn't the information then that there is now. I mean, now we just flip open, listen to me. We turn on our iPhones, mm-hmm. and you can get immediate access to the programming, anything you want to do. Mm-hmm. But then it wasn't that way. So we thought, hey, this is kind of an idea, and they loved it. So we all of a sudden started doing the show, which was another sort of theme.
Mm-hmm. And we won an ACE award. Except we laugh because we say all of our relatives and our family, of course, patted the bales. But we actually did win an ACE award.
We did.
There were probably like 3 shows in competition.
Congratulations.
We're so popular.
But I can see where that would be very relevant. I mean, I remember being the mother of a young child, and you're always scratching your head of, what am I going to do with this kid now?
Right.
Because we've done the coloring, we've done the reading, we've gone to the park, we've been at the play group. Now what? It's only 10 a.m.
Right.
Exactly.
And the library program was yesterday.
Exactly.
Everything was always yesterday.
Yeah, and it only happens once a week,
Yes.
and you've got 6 more days to fill up. So I can see why that would work. So tell me a little bit then, how did Two Boomer Babes start? That's a completely different venture. Who had the harebrained idea that time?
Well,
so zoom ahead 20 years. My family and I moved away from the area, but we remain dearest of friends. Our children are dearest of friends. And you go through so many things in those years. You go through middle school, and then boyfriend pangs, and high school decisions, and
the grades, the grades balled up under the bed.
Never our children.
Never.
The report cards that never quite got signed.
Exactly.
Right. And all these things that you go through, and parents, getting ill, and this and that, and joys and the ups and the downs of life, and then comes college.
Oh boy.
And so our first go off, and then next our youngest. And so I like to tell the story that when we dropped our youngest off, both my girls decided to go very far away to school. They wouldn't go like around the corner, someplace we could afford, of course,
Don't take it personally, Mom.
Yeah, okay. They wanted to go far away. So we drop her off, and we do embellish a little bit. I say I cried for 300 miles through 4 states. And it was that emptiness. It was like, oh my gosh, now what? Mm-hmm. But then we kind of realized, wait a minute, this is a really cool opportunity. So I did what I always do. I called Barbara.
Well, and my reaction was very different, I have to say. When she called me, and when my youngest went off to college, and again, I am embellishing, kids, if you're listening to this, my reaction was like, yahoo! And the first thing I did was I went out and I bought a white couch with no crumbs and no indentations of children and no spills anywhere. And I turned their bedrooms into an office and a gym. And, we had but at the same time, I was mourning the loss of my wonderful mother, and we were both going through these these sort of midlife things that we were talking among our best friends, but as Kathy said, there really was no broader forum. So once again, we got in well, I do have to preface that we were both had full-time careers here. Kathy was in real estate and I was in educational consulting. But once again, you know, we sort of got this bug, and Kathy lives in a smaller town, and she thought, well, why don't we, to have a broader forum, approach the local radio station and see if
You're the instigator.
She is the instigator.
I'm really not.
She's the harebrained idea
fuels
person.
the fire.
I guess so. She's more the harebrained idea person.
I don't know.
I begrudgingly go along, but it's been 8 years. So here I am.
So you go to the radio station, the local station?
It really was a little, you know, I live in a little town, it's a little station, and we thought, we had been blogging, we had gotten a lot of great response, and we thought, hey, why not turn this into a radio show? This would be a great idea. Not that we knew anything about radio.
And again, our voice is very radio ready, as you can tell.
We're so trained. So I landed this meeting with this lovely woman who's the GM, and we went in and started telling our story and our idea, and within like 5 minutes, she was laughing hysterically because she was in the same boat. She got it. And she's like, oh, you could do it on this and this and this. And the ideas are just endless because you're living the moment.
Yes.
And the moment just keeps going, you know?
And then I said to Kathy, I'm not doing this. I'm sort of that glass is half
kind of the
full.
naysayer.
She's more the glass is full.
Right.
Even if there's only an inch of water in it. Can't you see that it's full?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I said to her, well, I'm not doing this unless we get a sponsor. So she said, oh, I know. I have a contact at the major hospital in her area. And once again, the head of marketing happened to be this woman, middle-aged boomer woman. And within 5 minutes, once again, like we're laughing and we're talking about menopause and we're talking about our kids and we're just talking about all these things that we've always been talking about. And within like 5 minutes, she said, okay, I'll sponsor you. And I'm kicking Kathy under the table, like, don't we have to come back 10 times, you know? But they agreed. And so we quit our day jobs.
We did. And they really launched it, you know?
You know, it's funny. I always find that when you really are on your path, when you're on the right path, somehow the universe conspires to help you keep on moving down that path. And it sounds like that's what happened for both of you guys.
Yeah.
So what's interesting also is that both of you took the Passion Profiler, which of course I subject all of my guests to.
We did, and we weren't even prepped for that.
And I got you to swear on a stack of Bibles that each of you took it without consulting the other.
I
I was on the West Coast.
She was on a plane, actually.
Yes, exactly.
So it should come as no surprise to you that you both have exactly the same passion profile. You both have exactly the same.
Is that a good thing?
Well, in your case, you've obviously figured out a way to make it a good thing. I have a feeling that each of you are working off of the archetypes in the other person. So maybe you are, Kathy, working from the altruist and the healer in you, and maybe you're sneaking in with some of the builder and starting to ask some of the practical questions like, okay, how are we going to make this happen? And I want to sponsor it. But you both have exactly the same passion profile. So I find that particularly interesting. So you two have probably interviewed a ton of people and done a ton of shows. Tell me a little bit about the one that has been most meaningful to you.
Well, there was one, it was a series that really hit home, really for both of us, but my father had Alzheimer's. And we decided there's lots of shows out there, there's even radio shows out there about Alzheimer's, but we wanted to show the human face behind Alzheimer's. We wanted to show the effect on the family and the loved one, the children and the spouses. So we decided that we were going to do a series called Beyond the Face of Alzheimer's. And we had about 8 people that we interviewed, and they were wives or husbands of, spouses of, and they were children of. And actually, I was one of the people that
she was
Kathy had
#1.
interviewed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was really, it was very strange to be in front of and behind of the microphone. But, I feel like Kathy's my soul sister, and she really went through this journey with me. So she completely got it. And she was kind of my touchstone through this whole thing, I would say.
It was so rewarding. And I honestly think, because I get really choked up about it every time I talk about it, but it was so hard. It was the hardest thing we've ever had to do because it was so deeply personal. And each of these 8 individuals let us into their hearts.
I know exactly why. You guys show up with this great big healer energy through that passion that you both carry. And what it says to the other folks that you're trying to interview and trying to create a space for is, welcome, come in, I will listen, I will empathize, I get what you're experiencing, and I want to make it a safe place for you to heal. And I think what you did was contribute to their healing and probably contribute to the healing of the people who listened to that series. So it's no surprise that that was your favorite. Amazing, amazing work. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
So tell me what's next. Is it always going to be two boomer babes? What about when you're like 95 years old? Are you going to be two boomer babes then? What happens next?
We're going to be younger.
Yeah.
We're going to be.
Yeah. We like to say, well, we'd like to be two boomer babes with our two boomer dudes on our boomer beach.
We're going to be in our lounge chairs with our little
sweatshirts,
margaritas
t-shirts.
in our hand, and we're going to be looking at each other. We're going to be, what the heck did we do?
No, I have a feeling that Kathy's going to say, Barb, I got this great idea of what we can do at the assisted living center.
Exactly.
Look at all these crazy people here. They're great stories.
Exactly.
And we're two of them.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's a next chapter for you both, but ride this wave all the way to the beach. I think it's a pretty cool ride. And thank you so much for being with us today. But before we leave, make sure you let us know, where can people tune into your show?
Well, we are virtual. We are everywhere. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you really want to go back to sleep, just find us.
Just type it in. Yeah. But be careful what you type. Our website is number2boomerbabes.com.
Okay.
And
So
number2boomerbabes.com.
Okay.
Right. But if you are typing in the middle of the night, make sure you have your glasses on. Because we do like to tell people we are one click away from a porn site.
Which might really get you revved up in the middle of the night. Who knows?
That'll keep it exciting.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll keep it exciting. Well, thanks so much for being here, and continued success to you both. We're
Thank you for your
so happy to see what you're
invitation. We're very
doing.
honored
Thank
to
you. It was
join
wonderful.
Hope you come back again soon.
We'd love to.
Thanks. Today's episode has taught me a lot. It's taught me about the power of the human spirit to survive and to thrive. It's taught me that our passions are really our divining rod. They point us straight to the heart of who we are. I'd love to hear about what you're learning, or if you're interested even in being on our show, log into our website at www.mypassionality.com. And my wish for you is that today is the day that the journey to finding your passions and living your bliss begins. See you next time. Passionality has been sponsored by our friends at Simply Centered, the source for current information on health and well-being that you can trust. Find them online at www.simplycentered.com. And Sand-Yoga at the Loft. Come get your zen on with Power Hot Yoga. Find them online at www.sand-yoga.com.